the hidden benefits of semen retention that no one really talks about. Today, I want to cover this topic because it seems that, of course, there's these surface level benefits that you get and that you attain when you're on a semen retention journey. But what people really talk about is the inner stillness, the clarity, and the spirit, essentially the spiritual alignment that comes from being in your most natural, high vibrational frequency, your most high vibrational, natural way of life. Okay, that you expressing you as you and that which you truly are. Of course, I'm someone that I've experienced both the spectrums of, surface level benefits, the enhanced energy, of course, um, better attraction and better conversation and ability to communicate with females. Also, a tendency to have people, just generally, people, both male and female, just generally want to be around you. Because I remember this time that when I would go on these streaks, and when I go on these streaks still today, people want to touch me. So people want to come up, grab my hand, dap me up, give me a high five. Like, they want in some way to engage with me on a physical level. And what's also really cool is that because I am how I am, which is someone that I love having conversations, I love talking. I'm generally, some people think I have ADHD. Some people think I'm autistic. You know what I mean? Because of the way of how I present myself and how I do things, and because I'm generally a person that is more animated. I've had people tell me and ask me like, are you even real? Because of how I just generally don't do what everyone else does. Of course, when it comes to like a job and like talking to people like a normal human being, of course I do that. You know what I mean? I'm not always like jumping around and like all of these kinds of things. Like, of course not. That's not in any way or form practical. But they ask these things and they see these things in me because that's how I naturally am. And I think that also most people just are not who they naturally are. You can't be your natural self when you are always stimulating yourself to some degree, whether that is with caffeine, whether that is with, nicotine, whether that is with drinking, smoking, whatever the case may be, any type of even like online social media addiction, people end up formulating the behaviors on everything else they see. But as a man, when you do semen retention, when you take that time to just be with yourself and align your own energy, what happens is that you kind of see who you really are and you lean into that and you just are that. So it doesn't take you to make a decision to, oh, I need to be my normal self. All that it requires is an awareness. So the hidden benefits of semen retention that nobody really talks about is that you have this ability to have a clarity about who you are. Okay, generally, as mentioned, as I have prefaced this part of the conversation, is that people are not who they really think they are. They're not even acting in their own best interest, and they're not even acting to, or they're not even being who they naturally are. So therefore they are being someone else. Therefore they have a lack of clarity. You have a lack of clarity of who you are. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know what you want to do with your life because you have this lack of clarity, because you constantly dispersing your energy across all these other mediums except being your most natural high vibrational self. You can't be your most natural self when your energy is being pushed in different directions. If you are a man and you're constantly releasing your semen, for example, this is going to disadvantage you greatly, because there's no time for you to just channel everything within. Now, when you get to these levels of transmutation of sexual energy, and you know how to utilize all that energy that you keeping inside, just get to the point of getting it inside. That's the most important part, because people often say that, you know, they'll build up all this energy and feel so frustrated. And these things do happen because, of course, your testosterone levels might be higher than usual. You know, you might feel on edge, you might feel like a little bit more aggressive. It's because you haven't found a medium to transmute that yet, but that doesn't matter now. What matters is first storing the energy. That's kind of like step one. Get to a point of first storing the energy. Get the energy within, and it'll start. What happens is that these hidden benefits, you know, the ability to know who you truly are and be your most natural, high vibrational, high frequency self, aka the natural you, the real you, with all that energy within, it's going to start opening up these realizations, these realizations, these reawakenings, coming back to what was always there, coming back to that part of you. And that is the cool part about embarking on this journey of semen retention. It goes more beyond, it goes beyond the woman attraction, it goes beyond, you know, the ability to alter your physical reality, because at the end of the day, what gives you the most fulfillment is being your natural self. That's gonna at least get you to a point of peace and an inner peace and an inner stillness. Now, it doesn't mean that you can have that every single day or you can have that every single second, but it's gonna be more and more. And the occurrence and the frequency of these experiences are gonna be more and more. So there's more to this. There's way more to this. I remember when I started my journey, I had great practices. I had these great practices of meditation, some breath work, some yoga, and you know, the stretching part of the yoga, and just releasing my body and releasing all of that energy that is stored up. And I felt amazing. I felt really, really amazing at this time. I felt very, very aligned. You know, things were happening serendipitously. Yeah, everything was just kind of aligning in a way that I felt made me feel good, you know. What I can say is that, of course, you only realize the benefits once you stop once you stop your streak, right? So let's say you were on a 7-day streak and you broke that streak. It's not about a streak, but let's say you ended that cycle, and now you look back and you're like, damn, I felt like this particular way on those days. And yes, that's also true. It does have an effect, but it's also not your end all be all. You can still carry with the lessons, the energy, the awareness, that the heightened awareness and that inner stillness and peace. You can carry that forward even after that point. It doesn't require you to reach 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. It doesn't require that. You can have that right now. Although when you do go on the journey, it builds up in a way that feels deserved. Therefore, you will then experience the benefits. If you feel after a week that, like, innately, like you feel it in your soul that, yo, I'm on this journey, and I'm uplifting, like, my most natural self, and I'm living my most natural self and being my most natural self, and all of these kinds of things, and it's high energy, it's high frequency. If you experience that after 7 days, then sure, go ahead, you're gonna have those things. If you think that you're only gonna have that after 90 days, then you're gonna have it after 90 days. What you must understand is that you have way more control than you think. It's the thing that's in your way is not per se retaining your semen. That's not in your way right now. The thing that's in your way is yourself. So if it for yourself takes 100 days to reach a specific point, that's what's gonna happen. So start programming yourself to think that, yes, I'm actually already my most high vibrational state, even though I'm just on day 2, or I've just been doing it for whatever amount of hours, or, you know, whatever. That's the counting, and that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that's going to change, you know. So if you program yourself in that way, you're going to start feeling more of your natural self, because you don't want to reach 90 days and you still haven't experienced what it feels to be like, to be yourself. You know, you haven't experienced these hidden benefits which I'm discussing in this video. You know, you're not going to experience these things because you're still going to be focused on, well, if there's a timeline, I'm going to reach X, Y, and Z. And when I get there, I'm going to achieve that. But I still feel like a fraud. I still feel like an imposter. I've done all of this. I've gone through the journey, but something still doesn't feel right. And it's because that you've completely forgotten and neglected all of these other things that come to be on this journey. Okay, so that's for this video. Take care. If you're interested in any of my free ebooks and paid ebooks, it's down below on my Gumroad. You can check it out. I dropped one link there, but just go to my profile. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and keep in touch. Anyways, peace out. Good luck on your journey, and keep well, bro.